to the 6th lesson on how to solve polynomial and rational inequalities. In this lesson we will focus on solving rational inequalities that are not in factored form. The steps for solving are to first move everything to the left and set the right equal to 0. Then to combine the left into one fraction. So this is going to require that we can add or subtract fractions. Then we have to create the sign table for the expression on the left. Remember that when we have rational expressions, we have some issues with the zeros of the denominator. These are called the domain restrictions. You have to keep those in mind. And finally, based on your sign table, you will provide the answer. For example, let's try to solve graph and provide the interval notation for the answer to the inequality x plus 1 over x plus 3 greater than or equal to 2. First, we want to move the 2 on the left. We will do that by subtracting 2. So we will have x plus 1 over x plus 3 minus 2 greater than or equal to 0. In step 2, we need to actually subtract the fraction minus 2. To subtract two fractions, they need to have a least common denominator. The least common denominator is x plus 3. So I'm going to multiply the 2 with x plus 3 and the 1 with x plus 3. So I will get an expression that has two fractions with the same denominator. The fractions are x plus 1 minus 2 parenthesis x plus 3, and they both have denominator x plus 3, so we can combine them into 1. So then we have to do math in the numerator. So the numerator is x plus 1 minus 2x minus 6. The denominator is still x plus 3. So when we do the math in the numerator, we end up with our final fraction, which is negative x minus 5 over x plus 3 greater than or equal to 0. I'm ready to create the sign table for this rational expression on the left. It will have two rows, one for negative x minus 5 and the other for x plus 3. The 0 of negative x minus 5 is at negative 5, and the expression is negative to the right and positive to the left of its 0. X plus 3 has a 0 at negative 3. The expression is positive to the right and negative to the left of its 0. And the final expression, that is the quotient of the two, and it is the expression on the left of our inequality, will be negative, will be 0 divided by a negative 0, will be negative divided by a negative positive, will be undefined when x is negative 3, because a negative divided by 0 is undefined, and it will be negative to the right of negative 3. Greater than or equal to 0 means plus or 0. Plus or 0 in our sign table is the interval between negative 5 and 3. It could be equal to 5, but it cannot equal to 3. So our solution in interval notation will be closed at negative 5, comma, negative 3 open, and our graph will be the area between negative 5 and negative 3 is shaded, a closed circle at negative 5 and an open at negative 3.